everyone. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen today. My name is Amy Height. I'm a holistic nutritionist and advocate of real, good, real awesome food. We are here today to learn how to make curried coconut lentils, and they are delicious. They're also great because you can reuse them in multiple ways throughout the week. You know, cook them once and use them a whole bunch of times. So let's dive in. This recipe is entirely plant-based. It is gluten-free, it is sugar-free, and it is simply delicious. So let's do this. Now the base of our curried coconut lentils, we have cooked lentils. So as we've talked about before on the blog, it's really essential to put some time aside at the beginning of the week just to prep a few things so you have them on hand. Lentils, grains, any other legumes, really, really good option to prep in advance because it saves you about half an hour, 45 minutes later on, and then you're set to go. So you can make something like this. So we have our fabulous cooked lentils. We've got some onions, some carrots, and some garlic, sort of essential base for, you know, most soup recipes, and we're going to use them here to really flavor up our lentils. We have some yummy spices, including a couscous mixture, which I'll make sure that we include the recipe for underneath so that you can mix up your own blend at home if you don't want to purchase one. There's also the deliciousness of coconut in here, in both coconut oil and coconut milk. Really, really beneficial saturated fats. Some saturated fats we want to avoid, but these ones in particular, really, really easy for the body to use, really good for eye health, brain health, nerve health, and plus it just keeps things nice and lubricated and moving around. So we'll make sure we get a little bit of that in there as well. And let's dive in. So we have all of our ingredients already divided up and measured. This, again, something if you want to do it at the beginning of your week and kind of parse things out into containers, save yourself some time and make those weeknight meals super duper easy. So we're going to turn our stove on here. Groovy. So we've got this guy going on back here. We're going to heat up a little bit of coconut oil, a couple of little tablespoons of this guy here. So we have our 1 tablespoon started, a little bit more in there, and we're reserving another portion for the sauce that we're going to create in just a wee bit. So hang on to your coconut oil, keep it out, keep it handy. Delicious. Okay, so while our coconut oil heats up, we'll do a double check of all of our ingredients to make sure we have everybody going on here. So what we'll do first, we're going to toss in our garlic, our onions, and our carrots and saute them up. We want to give this a couple of minutes just to make sure that they get nice and soft. If you do like them a little crunchier, you can do that too. This guy feels nice and warm. So we're going to throw in our garlic. Fantastic. We're going to throw in our onions. These are just regular old yellow onions that we've just cubed up. And we've got our carrots too. So we'll give those a couple of little stirs just to get some oil on everybody there. Great. So while these cook up, let me just give you a little preview of what you can do with these lentils throughout the week. So as a kind of a base mixture on their own, they're super delicious. You can eat them in a bowl, out of the pot with a spoon if you wanted to, just on their own. They're also really, really awesome as kind of an addition to salads. So if you find that, you know, eating salads doesn't feel super, super filling, or you never walk away from them feeling extra satisfied, something like a legume or, you know, some extra warm grain, really, really awesome addition just to help kind of round it out and allow you to walk away from that salad, both getting your veggies and feeling really good. So we can do that. And we've also used this recipe before to make lentil burgers, which are just fantastic. So do check out the blog for the lentil burgers because they are really, really yummy. And again, using this same recipe, you do it up in one big batch and you can repeat it in different ways throughout the week. You're saving yourself time and you're not getting bored, which, you know, it's something I hear a lot about that, you know, I would love to prep my stuff at the beginning of the week, but aren't I just going to eat the same thing for 5 days in a row and get sick of it? And that's not cool. So if we can get a little bit creative, you know, mix things up with spices, mix it up with texture and how it's served, then you don't get bored and you still get to eat all the same great stuff. So another minute or two here for our veggies. They're getting delightfully softened. Okay. Okay. So while these have their last sort of 30 seconds in the pan there, we're going to get our spices all set up. So we've got some curry powder. We are going to do 2 tablespoons of our curry powder. Toss it right in there. Awesome. We have 4 tablespoons of our couscous seasoning. Toss it in there. Delicious. What's great too is that, you know, with this kind of cooking, really just eyeball it. And if you're like, I want a little more, I want a little less, you can do that too. Totally cool. We're going to put in 1 tablespoon of our cardamom. Again, reserving this because we'll use a little bit in our sauce in a few minutes. And just a little baby teaspoon of our ground coriander. Okay, give that a nice little stir up. You want the spices to incorporate a little bit with the oil. It really does help to bring out the flavor and also prevents them from burning as soon as they hit the pan. So we've coated the veggies in the spices. Oh, it smells so good in here. I'm so excited. Cool. A little bit of water just to help everybody out. You do want to just pour that in slowly. If you've ever had the fun experience of adding water to an oiled pan, crazy explosion of either steam or other fun stuff in your face. So just pour it in slowly. And then we're going to add our lentils. Okay. Groovy. So we're going to continue to mix everybody up here and really get them nice and incorporated. And again, you can kind of see that those spices are really starting to cook up. As you turn everything over itself, you can see where the spices are and you want to just mix those in so everything is nice and evenly distributed. This particular blend of spices, really great. It's almost like a nice Mediterranean blend of things. I really, really love the couscous seasoning just because it tastes so unlike everything else. I mean, it tastes a little bit like couscous, go figure, but it's not something we reuse in other recipes very often. So this particular blend, really, really yummy, really flavorful, and kind of does something fancy with your lentils. Okay, so it is time for secret ingredient number 1. We've got our fabulous coconut milk here. You may notice when you open your coconut milk that it has sort of this thick, very creamy solid on the top. Fun fact, you can use that as whipped cream if you want. Just toss it in the blender or in the food processor and whip it for about 30 seconds and it will turn into whipped cream for you. Amazing, because we're not making whipped cream here. We're just going to give it a nice stir so it mixes in with the liquid in the bottom. We are working with about half a cup, so we'll measure that out. Our little measuring cup friend here. Cool. Our lentils, they're cooking away, and we're going to add in our beautiful coconut milk. Again, that adds that really kind of like luscious flavor, that creaminess. And it's a great way, particularly if you're not using butter or using another kind of dairy in your cooking. Coconut milk is a really, really yummy way to get that same sort of creaminess. So we're going to stir this guy around. Again, making sure that your coconut milk is nicely spread out. And it's usually at about this point, I'll add just a little sprinkle of sea salt just to help bring everything out just a touch. So you can use a white sea salt, a pink, a gray, sort of whatever you have. We're using sea salt here because it is a less refined version of regular old salt. So we don't want like iodized table salt. That doesn't really do us any favors. But in sea salt, all of the minerals are still intact. So this is actually really, really beneficial for the body. And plus it tastes amazing. Great. So those are all incorporated there. Gorgeous. All right. Then we're going to whip up our sauce. So we can kind of do this in 2 separate steps. We're going to leave this guy here on the back burner. He's cooking away. There's our front burner. Let's grab another pot here. Okay, so while he stays warm, we're gonna again heat up our remaining coconut oil. So we've got, so we used 1 tablespoon in the first recipe, or the first half of it. And we're gonna use the second half here. We are also going to add our remaining coconut milk. So we're gonna do 5 tablespoons here. And what we're really doing is just allowing the coconut milk and the coconut oil to mingle over just low heat. And what this will actually do is as they cook and as we stir them together, the coconut milk will reduce. So it becomes actually a bit of a syrup. Super, super yummy, super like nice creamy consistency. Stir those guys together. Okay. And we're also going to throw in our remaining 1 teaspoon of cardamom. Okie doke. Just allowing everybody in there to mingle and blend. Stir for another minute or 2, and when it really starts to reduce and gets that nice creamy consistency, then you know you're done. So when we see that it's at that nice syrupy place, then we will turn the heat off, just like that. So at this point, ordinarily, we would transfer our lentils to a serving bowl or to individual plates, whatever you're looking to do or however you're looking to present it. It doesn't even have to be fancy. It's all good. And then you're just going to take your beautiful coconut sauce and just drizzle it over top. Super yummy, adds a little bit of that extra sort of luxurious creaminess to it. There we go. Now, if you were looking to use your lentil mixture for any other purpose, you know, tossing it into a salad or making it into the burgers, you would just skip the step of the sauce. Of course, you can make the sauce and hang on to it in the fridge and use it for something else if you'd like. But you could then take this mixture and sort of form it together as burger patties, bonus, or toss it into those salads. But here we are. Curried coconut lentils, super, super easy weeknight meal, super portable, and really super nourishing, really high in protein, and just, it's good. Just make it. And then, you know, send us a picture of you enjoying it with everyone you love. Send me any questions below or comments or anything like that, and I hope you enjoy. So thank you so much again for joining us today. Happy plant-based cooking fun. We'll see you next time.